Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is a fun day. This is our full production of planting perennials for the 2025 year. It is going to be here before we know it. So just to give you a little preface, all of the perennials that we are potting today are already up on the website ready for pre-order. So if you see something that you like, that you would like to add to your garden, you can head on over to the website and place your pre-order. We're not going to ship them until it is appropriate for your growing zone. Clearly, we are just now potting these up, going to get those roots nice and happy and healthy for you to send them your way. Also, keep in mind that all orders over $175 have free shipping. So if you're going to order some stuff, it would behoove you to make sure that you get to that $175 mark and get free shipping. Of course, you can put your annuals, your perennials, your shrubs, all sorts of fun things in there together to get to your $175. Now, it is quite the production to go ahead and get things planted here at Creekside Nursery. Maybe for those of you that are brand new to Gardening with Creekside, Creekside Nursery is a retail grower. So we grow the plants that we sell, both online and at the garden center. And this is what we do in the winter. The retail garden center may be closed. That does not mean that we are on vacation for 2 months. We're doing a lot of the behind the scenes work, growing the plants for you and your garden. We are in the production greenhouse, and we are currently in the stage of getting everything prepped. It is quite the production to get all this done, and there's a lot of work that goes into before we ever start potting, and that's where we are right now. So what we're doing is we are taking the plants, the perennials. They come to us in these trays. I'm gonna slide by Debbie for 1 second. They come to us in these trays like right here. Here we have some Brunnera. This is the shrimps on the, Pulmonaria. This is shrimps on the Barbie. And so this is what we call a 72 tray, meaning that there are 72 plants in this tray. This is how we get it from the wholesale supplier. So what we do is, to make things much easier when it comes time to pot them up, is we take them out of these trays, and then we pop them out, and we put them in these little web flats. So when it's time to start planting, you literally just have to pick the plant up and pop it in. Now, so that's what all of this, and we're going to go through the plants later on, but there is an order, and so everybody's working together so that when the pots come off the line, they can just grab the trays and get those plants into their pots. So we're going to walk around the conveyor belts. So we got the conveyor belts going. We're going to kind of do this a little bit in reverse. So once all the plants are potted up, they come off of the conveyor belts, and so you can see it's moving at a decent speed right now. So our perennials go in this bay right here. So we're going to start in this corner, and we lay the trays back to back as close as we can. They start in this corner, and they come all the way up, basically up to this pole, and then we work ourselves all the way down. So that's the end result once everybody is in their pots and nice new homes. So the conveyor belts here, you'll have a curve right here, so the plants will turn this conveyor belt on, so this will be moving, and then they just whip around the corner. They will come out right here, so our folks, whoever is the potters, will go ahead and be potting, and we put the tags in. So here we have all of the quart size pots. So you can see Meredith is grabbing them. Look at that smiling face. And so you'll notice that all the pots have a sticker on them. So this is our SKU number. So this is SKU number 122. This is that Pulmonaria, the Trevi Fountain. So it has the barcode, so that way we always are tracking this plant. These are those quart size pots. I'm just gonna grab one real quick just to show. No, you're good. So this is that quart size. So these are what we call just a great size container. So that way the roots are nice and happy, and we'll get through there. So something's getting stuck.
Oh no, the brushes are too low.
So we're trying to figure out. So this is the whole process. So Meredith is going to be the pot feeder, and when they go through, it's not turned on yet, but the soil will come out right here. those brushes will sweep it and clean off the pots. So what they're doing is they're running it to make sure that everybody flows through quite nicely. So this is just a little bit of the test run. So all of the pots are here in order. So the pots are in order, and then the plants are in order. So this is what we're going to run through. I think these are all the perennials for today that we're going to try to get, well, not try, we're going to do it. And it is going to be a very well-oiled machine. So Meredith is taking them. Megan is feeding it to her. So she's going to take them, feed them through. They're going to get soil. They're going to be brushed off. They're going to be nice and beautiful and even. Then we're going to have our planters right here. We're gonna have, like Catherine's got tags, she's going to tag it. They're going to go, and then out we go, and they are, it's always the fun when you're trying to see how everything goes for the first time of the season. So we're all quite interested. So you can see that the brush needs to go down just a little bit because there's a little bit too much soil on the top. It's dusty because it's a little dry because it's been sitting there for a little bit. So they're gonna come through, and here we go. Brush that off. And literally you can just, it is the first plants of the season. So you literally just shove them in there. You don't have to be gentle with them. They are tough, and you just jam them down in there. Jackson's got tags. So that is the pulmonaria. No, the Jacob's ladder, excuse me. That is the stairway to heaven. So this is the first time that a bunch of our folks have done the production. So it's Catherine's first time, Debbie and Amber's first time doing the production. So that we're using this as a training session to get these babies going. So now that the line is running, I've got to hop off. I'm gonna set up the camera so you can see everything. And then I think I might be your runner. So we're gonna get these babies potted up, and production for 2025 is underway. All right, my friends, so we have got all of the perennials planted for today. Basically, it took us less than 2 hours to do 2,000 plants. Not too shabby. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through, and I'm going to kind of highlight the plants that we have. Now, full disclosure, because I'm all about misses and successes, this is why we do things now, is one, we had the plants that came in, but this way we can work out the kinks, right? We can figure out what works, what doesn't work before the main order of plants come in middle of January, late January, I think is when they really start coming in. So we kind of want to have our act together and the system down before they come. That being said, sometime when the plants arrived and the tags arrived, we misplaced, accidentally threw away, we don't know what happened to them, a lot of the tags for the perennials. So we're going to reorder tags, so that way obviously they have tags on them. So you'll notice that some plants have tags and some plants don't have tags. They will all have tags eventually, but for now we're missing some. So bear with me as we walk through. That being said, because I don't have the tags in front of me on some of these, I'm not going to know the exact size, the exact growing zones, and all of that. These plants are on the website. So if you see something that you're interested in, head over to gardeningwithcreekside.com and it will give you all the specs. So just know this is a nice little overview of what we are having. And so I do want to say, so let's just go for it. These are all quart size containers. And the reason that we're bringing these in now and growing them now is so that they will have beautiful root systems for you when we ship them in the spring. You will notice that these are all in black pots. That means that these particular ones, none of these are Proven Winners perennials. Those guys that we've potted up earlier are way back there in the back. So a lot of the Proven Winner perennials are back there. And again, this is not the only perennials we're having. These are ones that grow well in the wintertime, in the cool. So we have got a new Jacob's ladder. This is called Stairway to Heaven. It is a beautiful, variegated. You can see it even when it's small, that it has a variegation on it. Zones 3 to 8. Even for us, this is gonna be more of a shade plant and gorgeous variegated. It is native, green leaves, white margins. They have a tinge of pink in spring. You can just barely see a little bit of pink on this new growth. And then they have light blue bell-shaped flowers. So there you go. We have got the good old classic Shasta Daisy Becky. So Becky is an absolute classic. Any perennial program, you got to kind of have Becky. Hardy in zones at 5 to 9, of course, a full sun. Love that. Then we're getting into some of these. So even though they don't have tags, everybody has a barcode. So this is Trevi Fountain. This is a pulmonaria. We have several unique, different pulmonarias. Trevi Fountain is like an absolute classic. And of course, this is going to be more in your shade garden. It is going to be more rabbit and deer resistant because it is hairy. And then of course in the spring they do beautiful flowers. So we've got Trevi Fountain, then we've got Amsonias. So we have the classic native Amsonia. This is the same one that I have growing in my garden. Hubreckii is a native plant, gets nice and big, like it's a blue star, hardy in zones 5 to 9. Basically a 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. If you remember mine, it gets nice and big. Now, dormant. Yes, the plants are dormant. They are brown. They're not dead. You can see actually there's a little bit of green right here. What happens growing them in these perennials in the winter is their roots are going to get so super happy and get nice and big. Then we have Amsonia butterscotch. Look at that gorgeous color that's going to happen in the fall. Your other Amsonias will turn a beautiful, like a yellow, but butterscotch is going to be more in that butterscotch color. Still will do your beautiful blue flowers in the spring. Love Amsonia. It is the easiest, most low maintenance plant ever. Then we have another Jacob's ladder. This one is from our friends at Terra Nova. We have a lot of Terra Nova plants. Those are the tags that we lost. And so this is Hurricane Ridge. Really cool foliage on it. It looks more like a fern, but it's not. This is going to give you beautiful blue flowers in the early spring, and this is going to be sun to shade. The warmer you are, the more shade it needs. Zones 4 to 9. Super cool on that. Terra Nova is known for their eucharis. They have got some gorgeous eucharis. Look at the foliage on this plant. This particular one is Red Lightning. Oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous. For my fellow Southerners, we really try to choose eucharis that do well in the South. So gorgeous color, of course, that nice evergreen perennial for us. Lovely, lovely. Does great in containers and in the landscape. A new Delosperma for us. This is White Wonder and Delosperma, an ice plant, right? Super hardy, beautiful succulent type plant. It will be an evergreen. My Delosperma in the garden is just doing great. Full sun, pure white flowers. This one's going to be hardy in zones 6 to 9. Nice and short, makes a great ground cover that will spread, not invasively, but does a nice spread for a ground cover. Then here we have another Pulmonaria. This is silver, I have no idea, y'all. Scimitar? Let's say scimitar. That sounds good. But look at the foliage on this. Like absolutely pure silver. Gorgeous. I mean, if you have a shade garden and Pulmonarias work well for you, then go for it. There's a ton of different kinds out there that will give you lots and lots of different looks. So this one's going to have lots of silver on it. Another Euchera. This is going to be a really like gorgeous one. This is Berry Smoothie, and look, I mean, y'all, again, if Eucheras do well for you, the world is your oyster as far as colors and textures. Look at those beautiful leaves. Another Terra Nova, gorgeous, gorgeous plant. Coming in to next door here, we have Campanula. This is, y'all, if nothing else, buy it for the name, Pink Octopus. How fun is that? Now, everybody got watered, so they're a little beat down. Pink Octopus is obviously going to have gorgeous pink flowers on it. Campanulas do well in like dry rock gardens, so this is a fun one. And then look at this Euchera. I'm pretty sure this is Georgia Peach. Georgia Peach and Berry Smoothie right now look very similar to one another. Let me check my tag. Yep, Georgia Peach. I mean, y'all, seriously, look at the color on this. Is it not gorgeous? Stunning. So you've got more of a softer side and then a really bright color. Beautiful plants, beautiful plants. Who loves bleeding hearts? We have got the white gold. Now, white gold is going to be really fun because it's going to have chartreuse foliage with pure white hearts on it with your flowers. Bleeding hearts, of course, love it cold. Early spring bloomer. Hardy in zones of 4 to 8. Again, the warmer you are, the more shade it needs. Oftentimes, your bleeding hearts will begin to go dormant and when the heat hits. So white gold is going to be stunning with that chartreuse foliage and pure white flowers. Then yes, that's right, another Pulmonaria. I want to say that this is Trevi Fountain. Let's see, no, Shrimps on the Barbie. Here we go. So Shrimps on the Barbie is going to have that beautiful speckled look to it, right? And we love Shrimps on the Barbie because we grew shrimps on the Barbie years ago, and Mimi got some and put them in her garden. Y'all, those plants in her garden are massive, and every spring when we do a tour of her garden, I will show them to you, and they are stunning. Obviously, pink flowers, Shrimps on the Barbie, such a fun name. It is a great plant for those shade gardens. Maybe you have deer pressure, maybe you have rabbit pressure. It's going to be better because they're hairy. They tend to leave them alone. They're not iron proof against deer and rabbits. Nothing is, but they are great shade plants to go into a morning light, afternoon shade with your hostas, your ferns, all those other plants. Love Shrimps on the Barbie. And then look at this acanthus. This is called white water. Making sure I got it. Yep, white water. It is variegated. Look at the foliage on that, y'all. Is this not fun? Oh my gosh, it is a gorgeous, really tough plant. And I want to say this is again more for your shade sun. Could be totally wrong on that. Again, I'm sorry, I don't have a tag in front of me. And then we we have two Brunneras. So here is Alexander's Great. Now you may look at that and you're like, Jenny, that is just sad and pitiful. I know, just envision it, right? So this one's got a really pretty leaf on it. Nice, beautiful foliage. Alexander's Great, of course, gets nice and big, hardy in zones of 4 to 8, 15 inches tall, 2 feet wide, true blue flowers on it. Lovely, right? And then we have another one here in a minute that I will show you. The Carex Blue Zinger. Blue Zinger is a lovely blue shaded Carex. It means it's going to be an evergreen quote grass in your garden. Hardy in zones at 4 to 9, 10 to 12 tall, and then it'll get nice and like drapey, right? Like your Calyxes do. So a great shade grass, sun to park shade. In that filtered sun kind of garden is that blue zinger, and then we have a Gnaphofia. So this Gnaphofia is one again by Terra Nova. This is Rocket Junior. Gnaphophias, red hot pokers, right, is going to be, you can see it has that foliage. Gnaphophias tend to be an evergreen, especially here in the south, and then it does those absolutely gorgeous, I want to say Rocket Junior is red. I'm pretty sure it's red, beautiful flowers that your pollinators go nuts over. Very low maintenance plant. And then last but not least is that other Brunnera. Now we had Alexander's Great. Now this is Alexandria. And so Alexandria is a little bit of a different foliage to it. More silver, a little bit less green. And I'm sorry I don't know my sizes, y'all. We're doing the best we can here. Right. So this is just a little bit of a glimpse into our world here at Creekside as far as that production. Being that grower retailer is that we grow our plants to either sell online or at the garden center. We also were growing some plants, some perennials. These guys over here, these will be for retail next spring, but those are all in quarts because we were asking you, would you prefer quarts or gallons, both online? Well, online for now, we're only doing the quarts, right? Because that involves brand new boxes, the whole new thing, and right now we're sticking with quarts for now. I know some of you want to have gallons, and maybe one day we will move in that direction. But also at the garden center, we traditionally sell gallons, but some people are saying I would love to have things available in quarts. So we're going to offer more quarts at the garden center along with your gallons, so don't worry. And so we do this now because we're learning that we're all learning, right? And as we go through and do this over and over again, like we learned this past spring with online shipping, that certain things, like maybe your Gnaphophias or whatever, just they do better if we can spread out the planting and plant them in the fall so they can have those great root systems and grow during the winter and those colder months. That way come spring, man, they are ready to go. Those root systems are nice and happy, and out the door we can send them with your other parts of your order. So I don't know that if we were trying to remember if we had another round of perennials coming or if it's going to be the annuals next. I don't remember. We'll have to go back and look at the calendar. But yeah, to get 2,000 plants done in less than 2 hours, and we had to stop for a little bit because we had to refill the soil. It's a good day. So we're off to lunch, and then more tasks on the list need to be completed. So as always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.